Bryan Harmon, head coach, 28th year. Isaac Robinson, catcher, shortstop. Isaiah Smith, pitcher, outfielder. Hayden Shepard, pitcher, catcher, infielder. Seth Steele, pitcher, first base. Chase Conrad, pitcher, second baseman. Zane Compton, pitcher, shortstop, outfielder. Coy Esri, pitcher, outfield. Harley Hebert, pitcher and utility player. Wesley Clark, infielder, outfielder. Wyatt Howard, pitcher, outfielder. Trapper Moore, catcher, infield, outfield. Lucas Erickson, outfielder. Landon Boone, infield. Blake Evans, catcher, infield. Braden Fawcett, infield. Wade Alavito, outfield. Shane Cox, outfield.
Tom Martin, assistant coach. This is my third year at Crane.
I'm Coach Brandon. I've been assistant coach for 2 years here at Crane High School.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style from me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a dawn mean. I'm just a bad boy gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor
of the reigning SWCL champion, Crane Pirates. And for today's show, we got a preseason preview to talk about with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Bryan Harmon. After recap last fall for the Crane Pirates, they won the SWCL championship last year. So, Coach Harmon, what's going to be the expectations that you're going to be going into for this fall season?
We always set an expectation with our team of playing hard every day and doing the absolute best we can do. And that's what's gotten off to a start this year. You know, they've been working hard in practice, and we want to continue that. And, you know, we got a lot of players returning, but nothing's for certain. We know we got a big target on our back. We've got to fight through that, and we've just got to play the game that we can play.
Just play the game that you guys can play is to just work hard every practice and also work hard every game.
Yes.
And so what is going to be the fundamentals that you're going to be teaching for this season?
We always been in when we hit ball, that puts us over the top. You know, we got a lot of guys back, but we've got to move some guys around. We've had some injuries and some, you know, just minor setbacks, and got to work around. And, you know, we had the summer to work through some of those, and hopefully the things we worked on will carry over into the fall.
Just things that you have to work on that will carry on to the fall is the injuries that you're going to be working for. And so now looking at your class, you guys have 9 seniors on your team, so this Crane team is senior loaded. So what is that going to have to tell for the teams that will play Crane this fall?
Well, it's just an experience factor that these seniors bring, and not all 9 of them, but a great deal of them have played varsity in some form. Some of them since they were freshmen, and most of them since they were sophomores. And it just brings that experience of they know what a big game's like, and they know what it's like to prepare for a game. We hope that they bring along the young kids and teach them that as well. And we've got some young kids that have really been working hard, and I think they're ready to step up and maybe step into some spots.
Step up into some spots that this Crane team has done. So what is going to be the Crane way that you're going to be coaching your players?
Well, it's just always been hard-nosed baseball. Even in years, you know, we've had some years where we weren't as good and maybe had not as good a record. We were always known as that team that, you know, you can't get a big enough lead on us because we're going to fight until the very end. You know, we might fall short, but we're going to go down fighting, and we're going to, put pressure on our opponents. We're always that team, come tournament time that nobody really wants to play because we're a tough matchup for a lot of teams. And that's what we want to thrive on.
It's one thing you guys in this 2020 fall season. Now, you guys had a preseason jamboree with Seymour and Portland. You guys went 2-0 in your jamboree. So, what are some positives? What are some negatives that you saw from both games against Seymour and Portland?
Well, positives were that we took a lot of good at bats. We did draw some walks, get hit by pitch, but we did hit the ball when we got the opportunity. And I just felt like our kids saw the ball well and took good approach at the plate. We played good defense that day. We had a couple errors by some guys that were inexperienced at their positions, and they're gonna continue to work hard and try to get better. And our pitching is not where we want it to be yet, but it's headed in the right direction. So that was a big plus for us.
Looking at the schedule, you guys are going to be in 2 tournaments, I believe, the Seymour tournament and the Crane Fall Woodbat tournament that you host there at Crane, which that Crane Fall Woodbat tournament, they have 4 sites from what I hear: Crane, Galena, Purdy, and Billings. So who are going to be at each pool for this Crane Fall Woodbat tournament?
If I remember correctly, at Billings, it's Billings, Conway, Morrisville. At Purdy, it's Purdy, Wheaton, and Hurley, I believe. At Galena, it is Galena, Blue Eye, and Hartville. And then at Crane, it's Crane, Spokane, and Sparta, I believe is how it sets up.
So with those teams, Crane, Spokane, Sparta at Crane, Galena, Hartville, and Blue Eye at Galena, Billings would be Billings, Conway, and Morrisville, and then Purdy would be Hurley, Purdy, and Wheaton. And so, yes. Talking about the Crane tournament, what comes out of the Crane tournament every fall?
It's a loaded tournament. 12 teams from our area that play good fall baseball. Lots of different teams have won it over the years. That's about our 12th annual tournament, and Morrisville probably has the most tournament wins. But there's a lot of good teams that have never won it. We've never won it ourselves, and we've only made it to the finals once, and we've had some good teams. So that's just a testament to how tough and how good the tournament is.
That is one thing that is tough about this Crane tournament. That is there are some champions that come out and there are some that don't come out in that Crane tournament. Now, talking about the Seymour tournament that you guys play, who are you going to be seeing when you go to the Seymour tournament?
We haven't seen the pools yet or anything, but Seymour will be there. Mansfield, I believe Wablo, Gainesville, us, and just escaping me who the 6th team is, but it's always a tough tournament, and it's always one that we gear up for, and it's another one we've never won. We've been in the championship 3 or 4 times and never finished it off, but it's good baseball, and it's about a little over a week before our conference tournament, which helps us prepare for that.
Now, talking about your conference tournament, you guys will head to Southwest and then to U.S. Ballpark instead of College of the Ozarks. What do you know about the SWCL tournament from the first Saturday until the nights of the semifinals and the third place and championship games?
It's a tough tournament. Our conference plays good baseball, top to bottom. Even if you go in as top 2 or 3 seeds, you're still going to have a team in the first round that could knock anybody off. And one of the years that we won it, we almost lost the first round. We were down 8 or 10 runs to Billings and had to come from behind and beat them. And you just never know. After the first round, the dust settles. People can reload with their pitching, and a lot of times the top 2 teams make it to the finals. But there was a time not so long ago we were the 2 seed and Clever was the 4 seed, and we faced off while the 1 and 3 seeds played for third place. And just anything can happen in a tournament like that.
Anything can happen in a tournament like that. And now, looking at your schedule, you guys will take on Hartville at U.S. Ballpark in Ozark. This will be Crane's first ever time to be played at U.S. Ballpark. They were supposed to play Licking 2 springs ago at U.S. Ballpark, and then they were supposed to play Pierce City last spring, but those games were canceled due to rain and this ongoing pandemic of COVID-19. So, what do you know about playing at U.S. Ballpark?
I've been there a few times. I've coached one All-Star game there, and it's facility, and Coach Stratton, who runs it, does a good job of putting on games, and we we look forward to starting our fall there, and hopefully, if we have some success in the conference tournament, we get into our fall there and get some experience on that field. Would be a nice thing.
Also talking about your schedule, you guys bring in a out-of-state team from Oklahoma. It's not Cheyenne, Oklahoma. That's out in western Oklahoma. It's going to be Silo, which is down in southern Oklahoma. So, what do you know about Silo? Like, what do you know from their years past that they do down in Oklahoma?
We've never played them before, but I've seen them play against other teams. They've traveled into Missouri a lot in the fall seasons, and they're a force. You know, in Oklahoma they have a fall state champion and a spring one, and Silo has won the fall one on multiple occasions, and they bring good baseball to our area, and it's going to be a good challenge to start the season.
Will be a good challenge to start the season when you guys play once again Silo, Oklahoma, which is out of Oklahoma once again. You guys have played some out-of-state teams in the past, but you guys have only had one loss to one out-of-state team, which was Cheyenne, Oklahoma. So when you guys have played some schools from Oklahoma, and you also played one school from Arkansas, what's different about Oklahoma baseball as opposed to Missouri baseball and Arkansas baseball?
Baseball's baseball. You know, if talented kids are going to play hard and win a lot of games, and you know, any team we've played from in the state or out of state always comes prepared, and it's always fun to match up. But you know, good baseball looks like good baseball no matter where you're from.
Now, talking about this ongoing pandemic of the coronavirus, what are you telling each and every single one of your players before each practice and before each game?
Oh, just we take a lot of precautions. You know, we don't share water bottles. We don't put out water for each team. You know, people bring their own. Just making sure they're, you know, having good hygiene, washing their hands a lot. We've got face coverings for when we're in the dugout in close quarters and when we're not able to distance. And we just have to do everything we can to hopefully prevent teams getting infected and things like that.
Just prevent teams from getting infected with this ongoing pandemic of the coronavirus, in which the spring season last year was canceled. So with this team of the Crane Pirates to get back on the field and to practice, how special did that feel? What did that mean for your coaches and your players just to get back on the field for the first time since March?
It was a great experience. We did play summer ball, but just getting back on the field for high school practices a few weeks ago, and this past weekend at the Jamboree, you know, the coaches, we all said when we arrived, it just feels good to put on a uniform again and get ready to get out there and coach. And you know, I think the kids feel the same way, and they're excited about it. We'll see where it goes from there.
We'll see how it goes from there. So now, as we look at another thing, is you are the current SWCL champions. So does that kind of put something on your back that means like, oh, one team is going to take that championship away from Crane in the next year?
I know there's 7 other teams that have that goal to try to take that from us, and a big target on our back, and we feel like that target's on our back from year to year just because we've had a good program, and we see a lot of good pitchers. A lot of teams throw their best pitching at us, and we just have to prepare as if we're going to see the best every day and do the best we can.
Just do the best you can. And one team that we do want to talk about from the SWCL conference, that's Purdy. So you've played Purdy twice in the SWCL championship, losing to Purdy 2 falls ago and then beating Purdy last fall. So do you think Purdy will want to beat Crane again in the SWCL championship?
Oh yeah, everybody wants to knock us off, and Coach Hughes always has his kids prepared and always has them ready to work hard, and we always relish those opportunities to go out and play good programs like that. We were fortunate enough to get them twice last fall, but before that it had been a while since we had beaten them. And, you know, it's a good friendly rivalry. Kids get along, coaches get along, but it's between the lines it's intense. Between the lines
it's intense between the teams of Stone and Berry counties and Purdy. And so now, talking about the SWCL semifinals being moved to U.S. Ballpark from College of the Ozarks, what was made? Did Coach Stratton come into play to say we'll play the SWCL semifinals and championship at U.S. Ballpark for this fall?
Well, when C of O canceled their sports for the fall, and we knew we weren't going to be able to go down there, the new head coach at Spokane, Coach Mike Essick, gave Coach Stratton a call, and he said, yeah, we'll work something out for you. Had to move the dates around a little bit, but once we got that set up, he said, yeah, it'll be 2 great days of baseball, and we really look forward to it. And appreciate Coach Stratton for getting an opportunity to get on his field.
Couple more questions before we let you go. What is going to be the big words that you're going to be lecturing to bring a win to your clubhouse?
We just always preach fundamentals, and we always preach intensity, and that's the two things we're trying to get out of our kids. And if those things happen, then good things can fall into place.
Fundamentals and intensity. So when you said intensity, that kind of brings me back to 80s style baseball. You know, the St. Louis Cardinals, who went to 3 World Series, won 1 World Series, lost 2, beating the Brewers, losing to the Royals, and the Twins. So do you kind of bring your coaching style from how, say, Whitey Herzog managed his players back in the 80s?
Well, I try to be aggressive like that, but in high school in the major leagues, they kind of get to build their team around the style they want. But high school, you got to build your team around the kids that you have, and sometimes you got power, sometimes you got speed, and sometimes you got more pitching than others, and you just got to adapt your game to what kind of players you have.
Just adapt your game to what kind of players you have. And so, what is going to be one word that describes the Crane Pirates for this fall?
I just think gritty. We always go out and fight hard, and that's just the style we play, and I don't think anything will change with that.
Don't take any chances for that. And if there are any final words that you would say to all the teams you're going to be playing, all the coaches that you're going to be playing for this fall, what will be your words to each and every coach you're going to be playing?
I think the first thing I'd say is just glad to be able to get out on the field together after missing out on the spring. We're hungry to get out there, and I know every team is. And I just wish them all luck and try to keep everybody healthy and injury-free, and then let the best team win each game.
Let the best team win each game, and that will end today's show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you enjoyed us sitting down with the head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Bryan Harmon. If you'd like to stay connected with the Crane Pirates through their social media, be sure to like them on Facebook. Also follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter is at Crane_Coach. Once again, it's Crane_Coach on Twitter. Also check out their Instagram. Their Instagram is at Crane Baseball, and their website is at crane.k12.mo.us. And also for schedules, check out Misha.org for their schedule, which on the first day, on Friday, the Pirates will be at US Ballpark to take on the Hartville Eagles. Then they'll be back on Saturday to take on the Licking Wildcats and Silo, Oklahoma. If you'd like to stay connected with Ozarks Sports Report through our social media, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel on Podbean. Also check out our website. Our website is ozarksportsreport.wixsite.com/ozarksportsreport, and follow us on Instagram. One final time, we want to thank head coach Bryan Harmon of the Crane Pirates for sitting down with us to talk about what is in store for this season. And we'd like to wish the Crane Pirates on a successful fall season. For one final time, I'm Adam Smith from the Ozark Sports Report saying, have a good day, everybody.